Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another Total Extreme Wrestling. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year for next year and next week. I guess it's the same thing. We are flying towards Survivor Series 2020. It's a little bit different than what they did in the real life. We're not doing champion versus champion. We are going to do a 5-on-5 Raw versus Smackdown sort of tag Survivor Series elimination tag match where the winning brand is going to get the #1 pick in the upcoming WWE draft. That is the plan. That is what we're going with. This week, though, it is all about ramping up the feuds, ramping them up, ready to go for Survivor Series. We've got some big stuff planned. I can already tell you a couple of the big matches because they are going to be huge. How does Andrade versus Roman Reigns sound? Good? Yeah. Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. Good? Yeah. Let's get on to it. I'm not going to waste your time. Before we go any further, though, just want to say big thank you for all the subscriptions. We've so much boosted the channel. We're up to 160 odd now, I think, or 140, close to one of them. And also, since I've started going to Twitch as well, that's been boosted. This was recorded on Twitch. It was one of the best nights we've had so far. So that's really good. So thank you very much. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're followed, or follow me on Twitter for all the up-to-dates. And hopefully we'll continue this. We're going all the way till WrestleMania with this bad boy. So let's get going. Okay, then Monday Night Raw this week. It is week 2 on the road to Survivor Series. And I think it's time we have a WWE Championship match. So we're going to start with the champion in the ring for a 72 rated segment. So AJ Styles comes out and he is talking about last week of how Kevin Owens ruined his title celebration and he will not have this happen. And he has a plan for Kevin Owens tonight. Before he can go any further, out comes Cedric Alexander. Now, this is a man we haven't really put together with the WWE Championship. Tonight, we're going to use it. AJ Styles, Cedric Alexander are having a promo battle. Cedric says he thinks he could shock the world tonight if AJ is brave enough to put the WWE Championship on the line. Before it can go any more further, this is the WWE. We're doing one of these modern openings. Out comes Damian Priest. Now, Damian Priest is part of My Hurt Business. So he is paired up with Bobby Lashley. They're feuding with Cedric and Apollo and the AOP at the moment. So Priest will not like Cedric getting a championship opportunity. Priest says he has been on a roll since coming to NXT, since coming to the main roster from NXT. Maybe he is the man that should be getting a championship opportunity. Christian comes out, the Raw GM, and says, you know what? You've all made some very good cases. I think tonight, the fans here at the Cross Insurance Arena want to see a WWE Championship match, big pop. Christian says, fine, you've got it. AJ, good luck. And the triple threat is made. AJ Styles, Cedric Alexander, Damian Priest, the WWE Championship's on the line tonight. Now, before we can continue, out comes Kevin Owens. Owens isn't here to say he wants a championship opportunity. He's here to laugh at AJ Styles. He's here to fight with AJ Styles. And AJ Styles gets out the ring through the fans before Owens can get there. But the last thing we hear from AJ, as the camera's following him, is, don't worry, I've got a plan for you. And he looks confident. So 72, good start to the show. Big match made for the main event. Big match. It should be good. Okay. Another injury, and it's really affected this one as well. Oh dear. So this is an impromptu matchup that I hadn't actually planned. I originally had in my head this would be Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens is currently injured. He can work angles. He will be back for the pay-per-view. Don't worry. So we put Aleister Black in here instead to get a victory. Over Austin Theory, I thought these two would have a good match, and if you look at the performances, they probably should have had a good match. 81 for Aleister Black, 65 for Austin Theory. But the injury, a slack jaw, I don't know what that means. 55 for the match. Fine. Aleister gets the win with the end of line, the Black Mass, and the US champion continues to look strong. Not a good start to the show, though. Not good. That could have been sort of a 75 to me, potentially, because Aleister's put in an 81, which is good. Damn, TEW has ruined us there. Can we actually have a look at why that was so bad, perhaps? I think it'll be the injury. Penalised for being disrupted by an injury and a noticeable botch. So how do you think the injury happened, guys? Austin Theory. Wait, Black botched a move and nearly injured Austin Theory. So these two just didn't work well together at all. Right, we continue. 64 rate segment. Again, not great here. let me talk you through from the start. So it starts with Seth Rollins in his locker room, and he's on the phone to somebody. He's on the phone. He says, "I'm really, really pleased for you. I'm so happy it's gone well. It's going to be great too." And before he says the next word, knock, 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 in walks Christian. So he says, "I've got to go," hangs up. We'll get to that eventually. Not tonight. Probably not tonight. So Christian comes in and says, "Seth, I saw last week, obviously you want a rematch. However, you've got to earn your rematch with Aleister Black. And tonight's your opportunity, because tonight there's going to be 4 men in one ring. And the winner of that matchup will get a shot at Aleister Black at Survivor Series. Seth, you'll be one of those men. But you've got 3 pretty good opponents. One of them, The Big Show. Seth not happy. Another one, Rey Mysterio. And another one we're going to give an opportunity tonight to Sammy Guevara. Fatal 4-way for the number 1 contendership for the United States Championship tonight. You'll see here, I ain't saying anything else. Right, tag team champions are in action for 58. Not bad, actually, considering if you look at the people involved here. And the AOP defeat R-Truth and Titus O'Neil. A good win for the AOP, if I can get words out. They lost last week. I wanted to get a win back. Let's put them over strong. 55 for Rezar, 52 for Akam, 51 and 52 apiece for the faces. And yeah, comfortable, solid TV win for the tag team champs. 58, I will take it. Afterwards, they got on the mic for 52. Now, ignore the Reds, because they're not good promo guys anyway, but I don't think this is that bad. They could have promo on the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business got involved in their business themselves last week, and AOP say they will take on anyone. If anyone wants a shot at these belts, they will take on anyone, and they will destroy them all. They are the authors of pain, and pain will be dealt out to anybody who wants a shot, whether that's Apollo Crews and Cedric Alexander, whether that's the Hurt Business, or whether that's anybody else in the Raw locker room. You will feel the pain. We're building it. We're building it. Right. Can we have a good match now? Oh, what's this? The New Day? Yep, we're doing it. So, last week, Raw invaded SmackDown. This week, SmackDown are here. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, they make their entrance, full New Day music, and a pop. They're baby faces, let's use it in that way. And they get in the ring, and they cut a promo for 72. We say on Street Profits, but actually it's on the whole of Team Raw. They say, we are here, and we are here for a fight. So, how's about 2 of you come out to this ring and we show you what tag team wrestling is all about on the blue brand? And the challenge is made. And the team that are going to accept it, obviously, the Street Profits. Now, it's face v face, which may not work on TEW. It doesn't really. But we're going to give it a go. They had a good match at Survivor Series in real life. In the build to our Survivor Series, hopefully they can do a good match. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, the New Day against the Street Profits for 75. So ignore what I said about TEW doesn't like face versus face, because that was bloody brilliant. Kofi Kingston's carried this one with a 78. 64 from Xavier, 59 from Angelo Dawkins, and a 63 from Montez Ford. And this has worked. New Day win here. They give it a lot of time, 19 minutes or so, and the New Day get the win when Braun Strowman interfered. So Braun Strowman, also a part of Team SmackDown, gets involved, costs the Street Profits the win. It's Raw versus SmackDown, so it kind of works. And afterwards, after a great matchup, well done people, we're going to have a big brawl. So out come Team SmackDown. They hit the ring, aka out comes Roman Reigns as well. But so do Monday Night. I put Rey Mysterio in there. That's meant to be Randy Orton. Luckily, it hasn't affected the segment rating. Dear God, that was meant to be Randy Orton. Fine, whatever. Outcome Team Raw as well. That's Andrade, that's Drew, that's Randy Orton to help the Street Profits. But you'll notice one man missing. No Big E. Big E is not here. Big E does not want to be part of this. He wants to focus on himself, but JBL has put him as part of Team SmackDown. He wants the New Day JBL, but Big E does not. We covered that last week. So Big E is not part of this invasion. He doesn't want to be part of it. You can say he was invited, but he hasn't turned up. And that makes the difference, because 5-on-4, SmackDown start to suffer. Braun is teamed up on, Reigns is teamed up on, and the New Day are teamed up on as well. Drew McIntyre leads the charge as Raw lead the battle here. 75 though, good stuff. From there we go to a break, and we come back from break for Drew McIntyre, pleased with himself backstage, pleased with leading Monday Night Raw in this battle. when he bumped into Shane Thorne. Now, Shane Thorne is a character we haven't used a lot. He does not have a good popularity. But what we could do here is sort of have him as a whiny little heel, I guess. I want to say like a Crash Holly, right? Where he thinks he's tougher than he actually is, and he makes a challenge here to Drew McIntyre. Shane Thorne says, I should be the one leading Team Raw. I am exactly what Monday Night Raw needs to be about, and he will prove it right now in the ring. Drew McIntyre is kind of laughing at the idea of it, but he says fine, and the match is made. It's Drew versus Shane Thorne. Let's see what this does, because the segment did quite well here. It's got Drew in it, so that is a big part, and I think Drew could carry this. Let's see, shall we? 79, so he's definitely carried it, considering Shane Thorne's put in a 29, but it's all about Drew McIntyre here. We only gave it 6 minutes. It is all it needed. The Future Shock DDT did the business, and Drew stands tall this week. Smackdown have been fought off. Shane Thorne has been fought off. Good week for Drew McIntyre here. This is good. This is really good stuff, to be fair. I'm dying of thirst. Yeah, good stuff from Drew. To carry that, to carry someone like Shane Thorne to a nearly 4-star matchup. Wowzers. Right, we'll move on to the Hurt Business. Good in a promo on AOP for 55. Not great here. Bobby Lashley suffering on the mic. MVP helped him, but not enough. Brilliant. Bobby Lashley was in action against Humberto Carrillo for a 66. So this is pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is pretty good. 15 minutes or so. We gave it a bit more time because we were struggling to make up the time at the end. And Bobby gets the win, like you'd expect. A 61 from him, 51 from Humberto, but a 66. So good stuff. Don't use Humberto enough. I know. All right? I know. But good stuff. I'm pretty pleased. The Kabuki Warriors got a promo on the Iconics here. It's time for the Women's Tag Team Championships to be on the line. But what's important to note about this, it's not just a normal promo. This is Kairi leading this promo, and she's excited because she's getting another shot at those Tag Team Championships. She wants the Tag Team Championships back, but Asuka doesn't seem as excited. Asuka doesn't seem as keen. Asuka is distracted. It will play into it. 69, and the match itself then for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Your winners and still Women's Tag Team Champions, the Iconics. 76 though. Wow. That has done a lot better than I ever thought it would. That is really good. The Iconics defeat the Kabuki Warriors. They only had 12 minutes. Peyton pinning Kairi here. It's even said underhanded tactics. It knows the Iconics. But what is important to note, which it hasn't acknowledged for some reason, I don't know why it does this, the finish involved Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler interfered, a distraction on Asuka, and it meant that Asuka wasn't there for the tag. It wasn't there for the tag, and she wasn't there for the tag, and Kairi Sane suffered in the end. The Iconics getting the win, 76. That's going to help everyone involved. Good stuff. Charlotte Flair got a promo on Nia Jax. Last week, Charlotte did beat Nia in that sort of vicious matchup last week, but Nia wouldn't accept that she was the one who took out Becky. Nia wouldn't admit it. So Charlotte says at Survivor Series, she will admit it, because at Survivor Series, Charlotte Flair says, Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax, I quit. A big I quit match. She's determined to make Nia admit what she did, if she did. 68. Pretty good. Okay, that big fatal four-way then has done pretty good. Again, Seth Rollins carries us here. An 83 from him. Sammy, 55. Not bad at all, considering his popularity is around that. So it's not bad. Ray, 62. Big Show, 61. As Seth Rollins gets the shot again. We're going to do a rematch at Survivor Series. It's going to be Seth versus Alistair once again. No surprise, really. It worked last time. We'll do another one. It should be good. 78. I'll take that. Good for Sammy. Good for Sammy. Sammy took the pin, but still pretty good. Afterwards, Aleister Black hits the ring, and there's no fighting here because we've done a lot of fighting for him lately. We'll probably pick that up next week. But they have a face-to-face here, and Aleister gets right in the face of Seth, who shows a little bit of doubt now. He lost, didn't he, at Hell in a Cell. And Seth is showing a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear in the face. Aleister is fully confident, and as they go face to face, Seth is showing a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt. It's a shot that's going to be used in the vignette, really, is what I imagine. AJ Styles got a promo on Kevin Owens ahead of the main event. It's going to be AJ versus Cedric versus Damian Priest for the WWE Championship, but you can bet that Kevin Owens will have an eye on it. 71, good promo. AJ Styles once again sort of drilling into us tonight. He still has a plan for Kevin Owens. It's important. Before the main event, Bobby Lashley has attacked Apollo Crews backstage. Bobby Lashley has made sure that Apollo will not be out there to help Cedric in the main event, but Bobby will be out there to help the Damian Priest, the Damian Priest, sure. We'll go with it. Okay, main event time, and it's for the WWE Championship. It's a triple threat matchup, and AJ is in trouble. It's a big defense. It's two pretty good talents in Cedric and Damian Priest. Let's see what he does. Your winner and still WWE Champion, AJ Styles. Now, there's a lot gone on here. There is a lot gone on, which probably has brought it down a little bit, but AJ still carried this with an 80 rated performance. 55 from Damian, 58 from Cedric, and a 73. Not bad for what it is if you actually look at it. For a main event, usually I'd hope for better, but for what you've got here, it's pretty good. It's going to help the tag team storyline for sure, because there's a lot going on. So AJ's pinned Cedric here, fine. But the match had a lot of interference. First of all, Bobby Lashley was getting involved, attacking Cedric Alexander. It's a triple threat. There are no disqualifications in a triple threat match. Remember that. Afterwards, out come the AOP. They attacked Bobby Lashley. They attacked Damian Priest. And they took Priest out of the battle, you can say, which left Cedric to roll back into the ring, groggy as hell, and eat the phenomenal forearm. AJ Styles takes advantage of everybody's business to walk away with the WWE Championship. Good stuff, 73. As he's celebrating, though, the music of Kevin Owens hits, and out comes KO, looking for that fight again. AJ Styles is egging him on. But before Kevin Owens could get in the ring, he is blindsided and attacked by Austin Theory and Angel Garza in the ringway, in the aisleway area. AJ Styles said he had a plan for Kevin Owens, and the plan was Austin Theory and Angel Garza. The three of them put the boots to Kevin Owens. Styles hits the Styles Clash. Angel Garza can hit a top rope move. I like the idea of him doing a frog splash, aka Eddie Guerrero, but I won't push that too much. Is there some sort of alliance going on here? Maybe. Would you guys like an alliance? I like the idea of it, but I'm not too sure as well. So let me know what you think in the comments. This could work, but this week it works because Theory and Garza have had some issues with Owens lately. This week they get their revenge. So AJ Styles stands tall. Kevin Owens is beaten down. 71 for the segment, and Raw gives us a 73. Now, it's not as good as it has been recently. We've been hitting that sort of high 70s. This is the low 70s. But when you look at the actual show, it ain't bad at all. Then the best match on the card, ironically, was Drew and Shane Thorne, because Drew McIntyre is a master. AJ couldn't quite get it done in the main event, but there was a lot of interference. So that's probably why, and I can accept that. I think we've had a follower come in, but we'll get to it. Good Fatal 4-Way. That could have main evented, if I'm honest. That was another option, but it's the WWE Championship, so it's got to be in the main event. I think it's pretty good stuff. We'll pick up with a lot more on main event. So, yeah, should be good. Okay, main event starts tonight with a pretty good matchup for 58. It is Murphy against Gran Metalik. It's pretty good. It is actually pretty good. The Murphy's Law does the business. A 205 remembrance match right here. And Murphy pins Gran Metalik. Sorry, Gran. That is a weird saying. Murphy wins, though, and a 58 rated match. Let's get him some wins, buddy Murphy. Let's get him some wins. Andrade could have promo on Roman Reigns for 84. Whoa. Well done, Andrade. Great promo here. And what he does, he makes the challenge. He says, SmackDown came to Raw. Raw went to SmackDown. We have been invited to SmackDown this week, and I want to put it out there. I want a shot at the big dog, and I want to put the big dog down. Andrade challenges Roman Reigns. Will Reigns accept? We'll find out later in the night. 84, though. Really good promo. Damian Priest cut a promo. We're going to say that this was sort of post-match from the main event on Raw. We caught up with him after the match, and he's fuming. He's having a bit of a temper tantrum, and he says, Akam and Razor need to watch out. 57. Okay. We did a women's tag match here and a NXT call-up for a night. Anyway, Liv Morgan and Natalya defeat Bayley and Chelsea Green. So Bayley loses here. Not sure she'll be pleased with it. Liv Morgan submits Chelsea Green, gets the win. I think Liv and Natalya could be a potential women's tag team championship opponent for the Iconics. So let's start giving them some wins. Natalya 55, 44 for Liv, 27 for Chelsea, and 59 for Bayley. Of course, Paige still with Liv Morgan, so that helps us. I'm getting a lot of Mojo Rawley comments in my chat right now. Next week. Jeff Hardy and Chad Gable cut a promo on Sheamus and Corbin. Again, we're putting these two teams together to help Hardy and Gable, who have yet to get their first win as a team. And we are probably going to do Chad Gable and Baron Corbin on SmackDown is the plan. So 60, good promo. Good promo. Nia Jax got a promo on Charlotte Flair for 49. Not great from Nia. She probably injured the cameraman. But she says she accepts the challenge. And at Survivor Series, it will be I Quit between Nia and Charlotte. Roman Reigns also accepts the challenge of Andrade for 73. So that match is confirmed for later in the episode tonight. It is Roman Reigns versus Andrade. And SmackDown is going to be very, very good. 73, good promo. Okay, I think it's time for the main event of main event. It is going to be the Street Profits and the Ring Workers against Glorious Show-Off. That's Ziggler and Rude. Shane Thorne and somebody else who I forgot the name of. Fine, we'll go with it. It got us a 57, so we didn't do well at all here. And Shane Thorne is the problem. So, yeah. Great. Riddick Moss was the other man, 32. 54 from Robert Roode, 55 from Dolph. Ricochet, 78 was pretty good here. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, not great. And Mustafa Ali, 64. Ricochet, the man here, fine. It's not going to do us a good show rating. Of course, the Faces won, by the way. It's going to give us a 63. It's main event. Let's move on very quickly and forget this has happened, shall we? Okay, NXT this week kicks off with Io Shirai in action against Deonna Purrazzo. We, of course, signed Deonna over the past few weeks, and we're starting to integrate her a little bit more, but her performances are low, so we do have to remember that. Io's really carried this one. She gets the win. Again, let's keep Io going. We're not using her as much as I'd like, but let's keep her going for now. 63, pretty good stuff. We'll move on. Io Shirai has a self-promotion again. Let's keep it going. 63, good stuff. I should have used Io more in this NXT save, but maybe elsewhere she could be used better. Hint, 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 hint. Dominik Dijakovic and Bronson Reed got a promo on the Grizzled Young Veterans. Last week they had a tag team title match, and the Grizzled Young Veterans wormed their way out with a disqualification. Dijakovic and Reed said they will get an opportunity again and they will become tag team champions. 38, remember the popularities, not great. The match itself, though, Dijakovic and Reed were against Cameron Grimes and Kona Reeves for 58. Where's that come from? Thank you, Cameron Grimes. I don't know how that's done so well, but I will absolutely take it. 40 from Bronson Reed, 46 from Dominik Dijakovic, or T-Bar. Kona Reeves, 34, 57 from Cameron, who really carries this, but Cameron was involved in the losing team, unfortunately. Dijakovic pins Kona Reeves, 58, good stuff. That's going to help Dijakovic and Reed as a tag team. But what I will say is that next week, if all goes well, people who are watching the stream tonight will know what I mean. But if you're watching on YouTube, next week's episode may see a big boost to the NXT Tag Team Division. That's all I'm going to say. Right, Keith Lee got a promo on Finn Balor. Last week, he was screwed out of his NXT Championship rematch by Balor and his Undisputed Era comrades, his friends. And Keith Lee says that tonight isn't about the NXT Championship. Tonight is about vengeance. And tonight, he is calling out the Undisputed Era for a fight. 68. Let's get to it in the main event, shall we? Okay, we have. This is going to be an interesting one. So, 40 rated match. Timothy Thatcher has beaten Danny Burch in the Cruiserweight tournament. Now, I can hear you. Timothy Thatcher is in a Cruiserweight. Correct. But let's just go with it. Because Timothy Thatcher, this might be a spot we can use him for now. 57th performance from Thatcher is amazing considering his popularity is 25. Thank you, Timothy. Well done. 40. Danny Burch, 31. Much better than I thought it'd be, but the crowd were turned off by pre-show workers. The NXT crowd are not great on this for some reason. Timothy Thatcher's into your final 8 though. He's into your final 8. We'll get the final 8 competitor tonight. But what we can do now is announce that next week in that quarterfinal, we're going to see Santos Escobar take on Isaiah Swerve Scott in the first quarterfinal of the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Ignore the segment rating. It's just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it. All right. Shotzi Blackheart was in action. Again, let's just go with this as well because it's not going well tonight. They didn't click. No chemistry, which is great. Shotzi beats Indy in about 6 minutes. 30 from Shotzi, 25 from Indy. Yep. This is your challenger for the NXT Women's Championship. It's not working. It's not going well. Afterwards, Dakota Kai comes out for a promo on Shotzi for 46. She says she can't believe Shotzi Blackheart is the challenger. She can't believe Regal would do that to her. So the NXT Women's Division. But you know what? I'm about to show you, Shotzi Blackheart, what a champion is all about. We're going to do a anything you can do, I can do better type thing. Dakota's in action against Mercedes Martinez for 52. This is better. Dakota carrying this one. She was actually off a game, but a 55 from her. 39 from Mercedes Martinez. And yeah, a good win for the women's champion. She didn't quite do it in as much time, but it kind of worked. We can make that work. Dakota Kai wins. Afterwards, Shotzi Blackheart offers a handshake to Dakota Kai, who does not accept disrespect from the champion. Shotzi trying to be a good person. Let's just make things a little bit more personal. Let's needle it in a bit. 44. Okay, let's get to some good stuff, shall we? Because it's not been great so far. That's better than I thought it'd be. Oni Lorcan is the final competitor booked into this quarterfinals of the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. There we have it, the final 8. So that's Santos Escobar, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Brian Kendrick, Tyler Breeze, Lindsay Dorado, Oni Lorcan, Timothy Thatcher, and there is one more, which I can't remember the name. Jake Atlas. Got it. Nailed it in 6. Oni Lorcan, though, finally makes it. He defeats Samir Singh. Samir was not happy about losing to Oni Lorcan here. Samir Singh can deal with it. 49. Pretty good, actually. Next week, then, alongside Santos versus Isaiah Swerve Scott, we're also going to see Lindsay Dorado and Brian Kendrick. That could be fantastic. I really think, maybe not in game, but in real life, it would be brilliant. So I'm booking it and I'm doing it. End of story. Right. Here's where things get complicated. So I'm going to say what I had originally booked. We did already announce that tonight it was going to be Pete Dunne versus Karrion Kross in a street fight. Now, Matt Riddle is here cutting a promo on Johnny Gargano. Riddle beat Gargano last week. And he says he beat him last week, and if the championship is on the line, he certainly could do it again. He's starting to talk about the North American Championship more. Matt Riddle has got his eyes on Johnny Gargano and the North American Championship. But so has Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross enters the scene, and it starts a fight between Riddle and Kross, which Riddle gets the advantage of. And Riddle beats down Karrion Kross. We could say he uses a chair as well. Really, really, really put over Riddle here. And Karrion Kross, who's meant to be in a street fight tonight, he's down hurt. We go to break. We come back from break with Pete Dunne cutting a promo, really to hype up the match against Karrion Kross. But we get informed that Karrion Kross has been taken out of the match. Pete Dunne will not be having the street fight. Regal says it cannot happen. Karrion Kross isn't cleared to compete after the attack from Riddle. So Pete Dunne is furious. Pete Dunne wants a matchup, and Gargano and Loomis come out with a little bit of a sort of swagger about them. Gargano lost last week, but he says, look what you've done. You can't even wrestle. Ha, 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 ha. Look what your bros away friend did. But you know what? Dexter Loomis gets on the mic. Dexter Loomis takes the mic from Gargano in a bit of a shocker, says, you want to fight? I am ready to fight. And Loomis steps in. So we're going to do Pete Dunne versus Dexter Loomis in a street fight, because Pete Dunne does not have good chemistry with Karrion Kross, and I forgot. And when I went to book it, oh, yes, it reminded me. So 72 for this segment. It's a little bit complicated. We're getting through it. But the match itself, Dunne and Loomis could be very good in a street fight. Dunn and Loomis was very good in a street fight. Very, very good. 75. Fantastic stuff. The bitter end did the business for our boy Pete Dunne. 72 from him. 60 from Dexter Loomis. Not bad at all. And they have good chemistry. Huzzah. Great success, as Borat would say. I will take that all day long. Pete Dunne wins. So Pete Dunne is also in the fight for the North American Championship still. So good. Finally, a main event segment. I'm not going to press next because I'm going to talk you through it first. Keith Lee comes out and he says, let's do this right here, right now. And out come the Undisputed Era as well. And the Undisputed Era are confident. The Undisputed Era are pretty certain a 4-on-1 advantage spells bad news for Keith Lee. And they get on the mic, they say that. Kyle O'Reilly, I think, could be the one that says, what? You want the 4 of us on one? All day of the week. Let's do this. And Keith Lee says, hang on. Stop. You didn't think I came alone, did you? And the music of Tommaso Ciampa hits. Tommaso Ciampa enters through the crowd into the ring, joins Keith Lee in the ring. But Undisputed Era are still confident. Undisputed Era are still very confident. They surround the ring. It's 4-on-2. Or is it? Because the return to NXT of the Viking Raiders for a 64-8 segment, great. The Viking Raiders run down, and there you have 4-on-4, a face team and a heel team, and they start to brawl, and out comes William Regal. And it's that time of year again, isn't it? 4 members, 2 teams, 1. I can't do it. I'm not going to pretend to do it. But Regal announces War Games. He does. We're doing it. A War Games matchup. I'm not sure War Games is in the database, so I might need to try and find a way to create it. But we're going to do Finn Balor and his Undisputed Era. That's Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly against Team Lee, Keith Lee, Tommaso Ciampa, and the Viking Raiders. Okay, so it's not been a great NXT. 67. Not bad, actually, because the main event has carried us, but it's not fantastic. We had a big NXT last week, a little bit down to earth. But War Games. Oh, War Games. Okay, NXT UK kicks off this week in the tag team division. A 48 rated matchup. It's Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, the Welsh wizard, so to speak, against Gabriel Kidd and Rob Terry. Kidd and Terry aren't really a tag team, but we stuck the 2 heels together here. This is all about the face tag team. They get the win, and we seem to have new challengers for the NXT UK tag team division. This is pretty good. 48, 45 apiece from the faces. Really, really holds it in. 40 from Rob Terry, 28 from Gabriel Kidd. I'm pretty pleased with that. After the match, Webster and Andrews get on the mic and not call out Dennis and Hendry, but sort of say, we're coming for you. We are coming for those NXT UK tag team titles. We want them back. Mark Andrews wasn't great here, but Morgan Webster carried him through for 36. Pretty good. Ginny cut a promo on Kaylee Ray for 47. Last week, she lost the NXT UK women's title shot championship match, but she's not quite done with Kaylee Ray. Ginny Couture says that she will be NXT UK women's champion. She will do it. 47 is good promo from her. We did a backstage angle here between Toni Storm and Lana Austin. Last week we started this where Lana Austin is doing this seductress gimmick. Toni Storm does not like Lana Austin acting that way. She doesn't like what it does for the females. We're doing a bit of a feminist angle. It's fine. Toni Storm and Lana Austin come to heated words in the backstage area, and then it's announced that next week they will go 1-on-1. That was 40 something, I think, for the segment. So that's not too bad. 6-man tag action here. The Ojmo and the Black Country Boys were in action. The Black Country Boys lost their tag team. I think we had them lose the tag team match last week, the tag team championship match. So they're kind of out that storyline for now. Noam Dar, Wolfgang, and Joseph Connors were the heel team that lost here, and Noam Dar is fed up of losing. 53 for this. Trent Seven was the best of the lot with a 65. The Ojmo 50, though, that's impressive for him. That's really good. After the match, as I say, Noam Dar is furious. He's fed up of losing, and he finally snaps. He attacks the Ojmo. He viciously attacks the Ojmo, and he sends him flying through the announce table. And these two are just getting a little bit more personal now. And when they go 1-on-1, expect fireworks. Main event time, and it's Killian Dane in the main event. He's taking on a big brute of a man, Joel Redman. He defeats the big brute of a man after a botched interference from Volta. So finally Volta has had enough and he's determined to take out Killian Dane. His disrespect over the last few weeks, he's had enough. But it doesn't work out for the NXT UK champion. Killian Dane used it to his advantage. The Ulster Plantation does the business. Dane's back on winning ways. And Dane is looking good. Looking good. That gives us a 51 rated NXT UK, which is actually really good for NXT UK. I will take that every day of the week. Every day of the week. It's really good. Really good. Okay, SmackDown this week kicks off with the number one contender to the WWE Universal Champion, The Miz. The Miz is in action against Kalisto, and what a great start to the show. That is a 77 from Miz and Kalisto. Miz is very, very good on this. 74 from him, Kalisto 60. The Miz gets the win. The Miz, I feel like, needed a win here to sort of show that he is still a really top talent that we can use. And I think getting him a win here, it adds to that, and it's a good start to the show, 77. As he's celebrating, he's interrupted by Daniel Bryan. Bryan comes out furious of last week's result in the main event, furious that the Miz cheated, and Bryan was screwed out of his championship opportunity. So Daniel Bryan wants another shot. JBL comes out, the SmackDown general manager. He says, you know what, Bryan? I will give you another shot tonight. If you can win your match tonight, you will be in the match. It'll be a triple threat match. It'll be The Miz versus The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. But only if you win tonight against Sami Zayn. Old rivals reunited tonight with big, big stakes. 71 for the segment is okay without being, well, spectacular. Team Raw are here for a 70-rate segment. Fine. And basically what they do, they arrive all together, maybe, I don't know, like on a coach or on a bus or something like that, and they are entering the building with security, and they are shepherded to their own locker room. Let's really make this, they're enemies. They're on enemy turf tonight. They were invited, but they are on enemy turf. We do have Roman Reigns versus Andrade in the main event, of course. Chad Gable and King Corbin had a 70 rating matchup. This SmackDown is killing it so far. 57 from Gable, Corbin 63, 70 rated matchup. I will take it. Chad Gable gets a win over King Corbin. This is a match that they did really, really well in 2019. Some great matches. So they're doing it again tonight. And I will take it all day long. Chad Gable gets the victory. Afterwards, him and his partner, Jeff Hardy, they challenge Corbin and Sheamus for next week. They vow to get their first win as a tag team next week here on SmackDown. We'll see. The Usos were in action for an 80 SmackDown. Whew, my God, you are killing it. 78 from both of the Usos. They defeat Heavy Machinery here. 58 from Tucker, 66 from Otis, and an 80 rated match. SmackDown is killing it, really killing it. Jey Uso gets the win, and after the match, they talk about the fact that Ricochet is known as the high flyer, the man who is amazing in the air. Well, the Usos aren't bad either, and they decide to show off. They hit sort of a top rope move after top rope move on the prone Otis. They really, really go to town. It's a bit torturous, really. They hit frog splashes. They hit anything they can, basically, just to really show that Ricochet isn't the master of the aerial ability. The Usos are the masters of everything. 66 is okay for the tag division. 6-man tag here for 74. The matches are killing it tonight. And the 3 of the faces of Team SmackDown get a win here in a 6-man tag. Braun Strowman, Kofi, and Woods defeat Bo Dallas and the Glorious Show-Off. That's Dolph and Rude. Xavier Woods gets the pin here, which is important to note. We're trying to build him up a little bit. 74, what a match. 76 from Kofi, 62 from Xavier, 83 from Braun Strowman carries this one. 56 from Bo, 54 from Robert, and Dolph with a 60. So really good stuff. And Braun stood out. Kofi did well as well. Good stuff. I thought about having Team Raw here. Not quite. Kofi cuts a promo post-match and says he understands what this is about. He understands what Survivor Series is all about. It's the battle of the best, and the best is right here on the blue brand, and he's willing to fight for it. Now, he knows he has issues with Big E. He knows they are brothers torn apart, but he is willing to put everything behind him. He's willing to put it aside for the sake of SmackDown if Big E is willing to too. 72. We'll follow up. We'll follow up with that. Good stuff again, though. Backstage attack here for 67. This is pretty good for the women's division. Sasha Banks is attacked by Sonya Deville, looking to injure the champion before her big showdown at Survivor Series. Sonya Deville is attacking Sasha Banks backstage, and she's pleased with her work. She's in action next, Sonya Deville against Lacey Evans for 62. This is good as well. 58 from Sonya, 45 from Lacey. Good stuff. A clean win for Sonya Deville by submission. Good, clean victory. After the match, out limps the Smackdown Women's Champion. Sasha Banks is hurt, but she will not stop fighting, to her regret, because Sonya Deville attacks her again. She attacks her well and truly again. Steel chair to the arm and the submission. I'm thinking maybe you could do the Ronda armbar sort of stuff here. And Sasha seems hurt. Sasha seems injured. Will she be even ready to go at Survivor Series? A 70 rate segment, by the way, for the women's division. Tonight, SmackDown is on fire. Another 70 rate segment here for backstage stuff, and it struggled a bit as well, so that's really good. JBL and Big E are in his office. JBL is not begging, but he's saying to Big E he needs to be part of SmackDown. Big E isn't keen on it, being part of Team SmackDown, but JBL says, listen, if you're not ready to fight for SmackDown, then maybe SmackDown needs a new Intercontinental Champion. A little bit of a thinly veiled threat here from JBL that he will make Big E's life hard for him as champion unless he fights for SmackDown. We'll see. And well, that's done quite well, hasn't it? Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn for an 80 rated match, and Bryan is in. He wins. Bryan will be part of the triple threat. Daniel Bryan 81, Sami Zayn 69. Really good matchup. But the interference from The Miz is the interesting thing. The Miz, he makes sure Daniel Bryan won. And it's explained after the match, because The Miz says, listen, he is a monster and we've got a better chance if we team up. We've got a better chance of taking him out. But before he can continue much, here comes the Fiend. 82, that's not done quite as well as I thought it'd do, but it's okay. Here comes the Fiend. He comes out and he destroys them both. He destroys both The Miz and Daniel Bryan. And maybe The Miz is right. Maybe Daniel Bryan should listen to The Miz a little bit here, because if they team up, maybe they could take out the monster. On their own, it looks like they have no chance at all. 82, good segment. Roman Reigns got a promo on Andrade, if I can get my words out. That's not a great promo from Reigns. I got the idea of what he could do is sort of say that Andrade could be a big star, but tonight it is not Andrade's time. Tonight it is Roman Reigns' time, and tonight it is SmackDown's time. 68, the main event then. Roman Reigns versus Andrade. Could be a sleeper. It's got to beat an 80 though to really be match of the night, which might struggle, but we'll give it a go. Reigns and Andrade for 77, so it did its best, but it didn't quite get there, and Roman Reigns loses again. Now, I do need to build Reigns back up a little bit, but I wanted Andrade to get a victory here because I think it's going to help Andrade big time. A 73 from him, 79 from Reigns, who was actually off his game a bit. Andrade wins, gets the pinfall after a distraction from Randy Orton. The idea with this is this was a lumberjack match. Team Raw and Team SmackDown were at ringside for this one. No Big E. Big E was not there still. So you had Kofi, you had Braun Strowman, you had Xavier Woods, and you had the rest of Team Raw at ringside. And Andrade uses Team Raw's distraction to get the win over Roman Reigns. Big win for Andrade. Post-match, Team Raw are beating down SmackDown again. And here comes the Intercontinental Champion. Big E runs out for the save. He's still a heel. He's not helping the New Day, but he's fighting for himself. He's fighting for his chances of being Intercontinental Champion. He knows he needs to play along here, and Big E does just that. An 82, he cleans house. We really put over the Intercontinental Champion here as a big threat in this 5-on-5. He's a big factor for Team SmackDown. The SmackDown has got Braun Strowman, it's got Roman Reigns, it's got Kofi Kingston, but Big E could be the key in winning the 5-on-5. 82 then, good end to the show, gives us a 78, which is pretty good for SmackDown. I think if we have Bryan and Zayn in the main event, or the Usos, who have done very, very good, it's probably slightly better, but I'm not going to complain at a 78. And some cracking matches all the way through. Really good matches. Like, the lowest thing on the card is a 62 with Sonya beating Lacey. I will take that every day of the week. Really good stuff. And that's the end of your episode then, ladies and gentlemen. What a pretty good SmackDown to end the week. Raw was okay, yeah. Raw was sort of good without being fantastic. NXT was NXT UK was pretty good actually. And Smackdown was good. Main event, ignore main event. We're not talking about main event, but Smackdown saved the episode, really. Some really, really, really good matches on that, like we expected there to be with Reigns and Andrade, Bryan and Zayn. The Usos pulled out something with Heavy Machinery, which is unsurprising in a way because it's the Usos, but surprising because it's Heavy Machinery. So yeah, if you like the video, make sure you like the video, comment for your sort of advice for what you want me to do going forward, and I will try and make it happen. Make sure you're following on Twitch so you can watch live with me when we do this live, and subscribe on YouTube for all of the recaps. And until next time, peace.